completely fed up. I want to have like a nice chunky boy. Once I started, I just could not stop. Hello and welcome to the Faded Wildflower Crochet. My name is Rachel. And I just finished filming the video where I made this cardigan, and I thought, let's go ahead and intro the next video while I'm at it, which is the second episode in my series, which I am now calling Smash That Stash. I have to give credit to Hodgepodge Crochet. They said I should call my series Stash Smash, and I added that, so it's Smash That Stash, because it sounds a little bit like a cheesy game show, and I love it. But thank you to everyone who had so many great suggestions for what this series should be called. But this is just a series where I use up yarn from my stash, which you can't see as well from this angle, but I have a lot of yarn. Just trust me on that. I thought for today's video, the theme could be using up yarn that I don't like very much. And I probably will end up titling it like using yarns I hate, just to be a little bit more dramatic. The truth is, if a yarn makes it to my stash, it means I at least like it a little, at least see the potential in it. I lately, especially since starting this channel, I test out yarns that I just end up not really liking. So I will donate them or give them to a friend or family member. But if it makes it onto my shelf, it does mean I like it at least a little, but maybe just don't love it. So today we are going to be using up some of those yarns. And I've actually already started on one project, and you might be surprised by the yarn choice. Well, you're not gonna be surprised that the yarn choice is in this, but you might be surprised with what I'm making with it. Let me show you. Okay, I have to be careful because this is still attached, but the first candidate for this series is this Afghan yarn from Hirschner's that I made the little vest situation out of. If you watch that video, you will know that I did not really like this yarn in that video. I was struggling quite a bit. And I think I may have even said in that video, give me your ideas for what to make of this, but not a garment. Well, it may surprise you that I am working on a garment in this yarn. So many of you guys have recommended me to try a Raglan top because you've said that it's much easier to kind of try on as you go. You make it to measure almost. And recently, Michelle made a video where she did a Raglan style shirt. And I thought that could be the perfect use for this yarn. But the pattern, so she follows the pattern by MJ Off the Hook Designs, or I think that's what it's called. And she does have a paid pattern, but she also has a blog post and a YouTube video going over how to do this. The problem was she was using a size 4 yarn, and this is a size 2. But I thought, let's just try doubling it up. Let's just try it. And so I did, in fact, try doubling it up. And I don't know why, but it is so much easier to work with. I thought I would go ahead and give it a try first off camera because I wasn't sure if I was even going to like it. And if I didn't, I wasn't going to continue. But I actually like it so much more doubled up. I have no idea why. So this is your sign. If you have a yarn you don't really like, maybe try doing it doubled up. I don't know why this worked so much better, but it snags so much less this way. So this is how far I have gotten, not very far yet. And if you aren't familiar with Raglan tops, you do them from the top down. So you start with the collar and then you go to the arms, and then at a certain place you break for the arms and you can go back in later. But I want to make mine short sleeve. So I probably will just stop it where the armhole stops, and I probably will go back in and add like 1 or 2 rows, but not much at all. I'm not going to do this in long sleeves, but I did in fact already do all the work of doing a gauge swatch. Yes, I did a gauge swatch and figured out what hook I needed and all of that. I am excluding the baby poop color in case you guys are interested. I just do not like that color. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do with that yarn. But I think for the rest of this, I am just going to do it in alternating blue, cream, and orange stripes. So I am going to continue on with that. Okay, guys, this is how far I've gotten on my little Raglan top. And oh my goodness, why did I think that this was going to be difficult? This is so easy. You basically, once you get that first round, the setup round done, you can just fly through this. And now, of course, I haven't done the break for the sleeves yet. I think I have 3 more rounds until then. But so far, this is really, really easy and really, really fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. Now, my one concern is that, so where you join, you do a V stitch right here, and that is where the join is. And can you see that where my joins are a little bit more spaced out than the other sets of V stitches? Like that looks a lot nicer than these rounds here. So I was noticing that. So what I started to do on this blue section is instead of doing a chain 3, I just did a chain 2. And that seems to help a lot because as you can see, the blue section looks better, whereas the orange section and the white section, these were all chain 3s, which is what the pattern calls for. But it's a little bit too much gapping there for me. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't think I'm going to restart this. I could be picky and restart this, but I think what I'm just going to do is use my ends to just kind of cinch all of those together a little bit. And then, like I said, for the rest of this, and from now on, I will just do chain 2s. I don't know if I'm just doing them a little too loose or what, but I definitely prefer the way that looks better. So that is that. Actually, let's try this on just to see. Okay, so I think I have this correct. So the joined rounds are like here in the back. So they won't be as noticeable back there. I am a little bit concerned that the neckline might be a little bit big. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, since I have this like black shirt under it and you can see that, it's kind of weird. But that's not so bad, right? I think it's gonna be all right. But if I'm still having that issue at the end, I'll have to decide what to do. But yeah, so far so good. Okay, I'm gonna take this off before I continue talking. Put my Hexie cardigan back on. Okay, so I need a little break anyway because my hands are feeling quite tired. I've been crocheting a lot for the past few days, and so I need a little break, and I really want to go thrifting. I used to go thrifting like once a week for a while there, and I haven't been in months at this point, which is definitely a happy moment for my wallet, but I really miss it. And I specifically want to go thrifting for some items that I can do thrift flips with. So I want to do a video where I do like thrift flip crochet edition. So I'm thinking like adding crochet edging to like a plain tank top and shorts, or taking blankets apart, like finding blankets and taking those apart and making something new with them. I love watching those kind of videos, so I would really like to make that type of video. And I think it's just like fun and creative. And so that is specifically what I want to go do. I would take you guys with me, but the places I like to go are like really small, locally owned type of places. And it just feels really uncomfortable to take my camera in there, and I don't know, it feels a little weird. And so I probably won't film while I'm there, but I hopefully will have like a little haul to show you guys at the end here. I kind of like using these videos, these stash busting videos, as almost like crochet vlogs and sneak peeks of like things to come. And you guys seem to enjoy that. So that is the plan, and I will meet you back here to show you if I do find anything. Hopefully I do. Okay, guys, I am back. The goods are secured, and I had a pretty good personal trip, but I don't know that I actually found anything for this video. I figure I'll show you all of this stuff anyway. I don't know, just for fun. I love seeing what people thrift. But this is the first thing, which is this hummingbird t-shirt. How stinking cute is that? It's definitely old. It's got a paper tag here. I think it's in this like nice, thick, sturdy cotton, but it's still in really good condition. And I love hummingbirds. How cute. Love it. Okay, this next thing, I might actually end up thrift flipping this. Let me show you. It is a dress. Where is the top of it? It is a dress, and it fits me absolutely perfectly, except for the arms. And so I thought possibly I could crochet sleeves onto this. Let me know if you guys would want to see that for a thrift flipping video. I think it would be pretty easy to do. This is so cute and, you know, summery, springy. Love it. It's just, does anyone else have this problem where like armholes are almost always too big on me? It like hangs down to here, shows like my whole bra, which like, I know that's kind of a moment. Some people will wear like a lace cami or something underneath it, but I usually just end up wearing a sweater over it and then it defeats the purpose. So maybe I'll add sleeves. That could be fun. Okay, this next thing is pretty boring, but it is just a tank top, just a gray and white striped tank top. I just need more tank tops in my life. I feel like I barely have any. This could be another one that I could like add something cute to, like embroider something on it, but it's white and gray and it's like in perfect condition. A lot of times you'll find things that are white at the thrift store and of course they're always stained, but perfect condition. Love that. Okay, this next one I am definitely not going to be doing anything to, but it's very inspiring to me. So it is just this gray shirt with this embroidery detail right here on the like shoulder section. I just think that's so cute and just adds like a nice little touch. And I think that that could be fun to do to other t-shirts to add embroidery, or even like you could crochet a patch and then sew that on. That could be fun as well, but I just thought this was really cute. Okay, see, I told you guys, I like mustard yellow. I actually really do. I just didn't like the shade of the baby poop color. I gotta quit talking about that. But I just didn't like that shade of mustard, but this is nice. It's like, see how much like brighter it is? It doesn't have that weird green tone to it. I like the shade of this one so much better. And these are just like comfy little, you know, elastic waist shorts. I could also do something fun with these as well. I could like add crochet, like, I was about to say border, but like edging to like the bottom of the legs. I don't know, but I just like them as they are. This is the last thing, which is very, very boring, but it is just a black zip up hoodie. And it's literally like a Walmart brand hoodie, but Walmart must be stepping up their game lately because actually the pants I'm wearing right now are from Walmart and they are the softest thing ever. And this is also just like really soft. It is, you know, like a fleece inside, but it's not too thick. And I know I'm going to get so much wear out of this as is, but this could be also another thing that I could like embroider something on the back of it. You know, I don't know, maybe we could do something with some of that stuff, but I really have like a specific vision in my mind and I don't feel like I found anything to complete that vision, but I found some good stuff and all of that was $21. So like $3.50 a piece, that's pretty good. It is absolutely a beautiful day and we have had crazy wacky weather lately. I think I showed it in the clips of my last video that my wisteria bush had just bloomed and it was absolutely gorgeous. And then we got snow in April, which is unheard of for here. And a lot of the wisteria like blooms. It's not dead or anything, but they're not looking good. And I'm hoping that it's going to re-bloom. I don't know. If you're an expert botanist, let me know. Anyway, it is gorgeous today though. And so I may go out to the porch in a little bit, but I want to keep working on my raglan. So I'm going to go do that. Okay guys, I was trying this on just to look at myself and my camera just to see if I liked it. And I thought I would go ahead and check in with you and show you how much I love this. It is absolutely perfect. So I did add the little chains for the arms underneath here. And I was so unsure of how it was going to fit, but it fits perfectly. Obviously, I'm going to finish the body section and then I'm going to go back in and add at least one more section. So each of these is 3 rounds. So I'm going to add at least 3 more rounds of the orange here and then maybe do one more section we'll see how it goes, because I may also want to end up adding ribbing to the sleeves. I'm not really sure how any of that's going to go yet, but I am absolutely loving it. It's not even anywhere close to done yet, but seeing it on me, I'm like, I made that? Are you kidding me? Please excuse my sweaty, no makeup appearance, but I have been moving stuff around all morning because something exciting is coming, which I will show you in a little bit. But I am wearing my new hummingbird shirt, which I did wash, don't worry. And I discovered that it says right here, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that, that it says $19.99. So the shirt is from $19.99. I was 13 at the time. I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, it is an older shirt. I did suspect that when I saw it. But I feel like they're making shirts now to replicate this look. So anyways, very exciting find. So I will get back to my Raglan. That's going to be kind of my no thoughts, just vibes project. But I wanted to go ahead and introduce the next yarn we will be using, which is this Karen cotton cake yarn, which if you watch the video where I reviewed this, I just didn't love it for amigurumi. And also there was like some dye issues where there was like spots of dye where they shouldn't be. So I wasn't sure what to do with this, but actually somebody in the comments of this video said to use it for towel toppers. And I thought that was a perfect idea. So I did buy some towels and I'm going to be making the little towel toppers for them. Now I don't use a pattern when I do this. I will try to link a similar one, but I want to go ahead and make some of these because my mom loves these and she's going to be here later today and I want to be able to give her some. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I don't know how many I'm going to be able to make before she gets here, but hopefully at least one. So that is what we're going to be working on until the exciting thing that is coming comes, and then I will show you that. Okay guys, I am completely fed up with this yarn right now. I forgot how tangled up this was. If you missed that video, this skein just came all tangled up. I suspect that it was a return that had been partially used and I don't know what happened, but it is so tangled and I'm getting fed up with like crocheting a couple of stitches and then having to like untangle it and then doing a couple of stitches and untangling it. So I'm just going to work this whole thing into a nice little ball. It's going to make it so much easier to work from. I could use my yarn winder, but I don't want to. So I'm just going to sit here, isn't that right, Lily? And work this into a ball. And I think because of that, I'm not going to have time to complete this before my mom gets here, but that's okay. She will still end up with some towel toppers, don't you worry. Hello, you guys. It is the next day, and do you love my new bookshelf? I love it so much. My dad actually built it. He also built the other shelf, the one that you see in the background of all my videos. He built that one last Christmas, 2 Christmases ago for me, and then he built this shelf for me, and I love it so much. I get questions about this from time to time, and I always just want to be super clear about it. People are like, why is this yarn over here by itself? The reason is because I do work with the brand Catch to make social media content for them. I just need a place to film those short form videos. And so that's why they're like over here by themselves. These bins, by the way, are all containing different hobbies. Hi, Lily. Could you just not stand it anymore? You had to come say hi. Am I allowed to talk? Can I finish talking to the people? As I was saying, each of these bins contains different storage for different crafts of mine besides crochet. So one of them has like all of my printed out patterns in it. One of them has like drawing stuff. Like this bottom one has the rest of my like equipment, ring lights and stuff. I love having it all spread out like this because before it was all like behind things and like shoved in drawers, and now it's just so easy to access and it looks really nice. Also, my ring light is glitching. Speaking of ring lights, if you have a good recommendation for a ring light, please let me know, because I've only been doing this for a year and a few months, and I've been through like 5 different ring lights because they mess up for one reason or another, and it's driving me absolutely bonkers. Anyway, so I did finish the first 4 of these little towel toppers. I love making these. I kind of forgot how easy and fun these are to make. I will show you a close-up of all of them later, but I basically just did half double crochets this time instead of double crochets, and I did a single crochet border around them. And the buttons, not you button, all these buttons are the buttons that I have just had in my stash for forever. Most of them are thrifted, but I think that they look so cute. I still have, let me show you, this much yarn left, which is still quite a bit. I think I have maybe 4 or 5 more of these specific towels left. I think, I'm trying to decide. I think for now, oh, I forgot I was already in the process of making another one. I think for now, I really want to work on my Raglan. And as much as I would like to sit over here and work on it, the reason I don't ever sit in this corner is because it's kind of dark. Like the light doesn't really reach over here as much, and I need light to work on my projects. So I think I'll probably move back over to my couch, but I wanted to sit here and show my shelf. There was the cutest little Siamese cat that just walked by my window, and I ran out there to see if it would let me pet it. And by the time I got out there, it was gone. And the same thing happened yesterday with another cat. It was a little black and white cat. I went out there and it was just gone. I don't know where they go. They're just like disappearing into the void out there. But anyway, maybe it'll come back and maybe it will let me pet it. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. Anyway, what else I'm keeping you updated on is the next yarn that I want to use up, which is this right here, which is the Michael Chenille Home Loops and Threads, whatever this one's called. And if you watch this video, you will know that I really didn't hate this yarn. It's just not my favorite. I didn't love it. I did buy some ponytail holders at the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna make some scrunchies with these because I, believe it or not, just made my first set of crocheted scrunchies like a few weeks ago. I don't know how I've gone this long in my life of not making them because I love them and I use these constantly, but I think this is going to be the perfect use for this. So I am going to probably be alternating between working on this, working on my Raglan, and working on the towel toppers over the weekend. And I just want to give myself the option of any of those that I want to work on. So I thought I'd go ahead and intro this now. And yeah, I wonder how many this is going to make. If you had to guess how many scrunchies this would make, what do you think? I'm thinking maybe 5. Okay guys, it is Monday and I got a lot done over the weekend, including my Raglan, which I will show you in a minute. But first, let me show you everything else I finished. I made 8 of these little towel toppers. I think they turned out so cute. I used all 8 of the cloths that I bought, but I wanted to use up the rest of the yarn. So what I did was I made some washcloths, 2 washcloths, and then I think there's 6 granny squares in here to use as like little granny square coasters, which I feel like that is the perfect way to get rid of yarn that you don't know what to do with, as long as it has at least some cotton in it. This is a cotton blend. use it for washcloths and coasters. It's perfect. Now, plot twist, I actually like this yarn now. I did not like it for amigurumi. It's just, there's something about a cotton acrylic blend that, so far anyway, I don't find that I enjoy for amigurumi, but I really like it for everything else. I like the texture of it in the end, and it was super, super easy to work with. Now, there are still dye issues, which is quite a shame. I don't enjoy that, but I do enjoy the texture. So there you go. So I also finished my scrunchies, and I think I left off guessing that I could make 5 with what was left over. I was close. It was 4. Now, on the contrary of the other yarn, I ended up enjoying the cotton yarn. This solidified my choice of this being a most hated yarn. This stuff sheds so bad. I think you can still see some of it shedding. And all you have to do with scrunchies is like sew the 2 ends. Look at that. It's still, that sheds all over it. Just don't like this yarn. I definitely will not ever be repurchasing this yarn. Let me go to a different angle and I will show you my raglan. Okay, here is my raglan. For the most part, I really, really like it. And it was a great learning experience of how to make things from the top down. And this is my first ever like pull over. I'm so impressed with myself. I am so happy that I made this. Now, the problem was I did end up running out of the blue yarn when I tried to add a stripe here. I think I was like 24 stitches away from the end of the round. I was so frustrated, and I think I would have liked it better if it had 1 extra stripe. But I did just go ahead and decide to add this kind of smaller ribbing here. The pattern did call for a ribbing section, but it was supposed to be longer, like the same width as the top. But again, I didn't have enough yarn to be able to do that. So I just made a smaller ribbing, and I still think that it looks really good. I think the sizing is pretty nice. Now, could I maybe go up a size next time? Maybe, because I do tend to like my clothes oversized, but I do think that it actually looks really good on me. It feels really good. Texture is nice. I did give this just a little bit of a steam, but that did help with the staticky nature of this yarn for sure. And probably after washing it, it'll be even better. I'm not sure. Now, ideally, I would like to add cuffs to the ends of the sleeves, but again, I ran out of yarn. Let me show you how much yarn I have left. So this is it. This is all the yarn I have left from these 3 colors of that kit, which was obviously the goal. I have the most of the white, but well, I just dropped that one, but the blue and the orange, I barely have any left of, which again was totally the goal. So I do have 2 concerns about this, things that I kind of want to improve for next time. The first one is that this neck section is just the littlest bit too loose, as you can kind of see there. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It's not enough to like make me not want to wear it. But I would like this to be just a little bit tighter, especially because I know this is probably going to stretch out over time. I kind of wish there was a way for me to add the neck ribbing in last. With this pattern, you do it first. So if you have a pattern that you could suggest that tells you how to do that, let me know. But, you know, like I said, not a deal breaker, but you can kind of like see that, like, especially on the sides, like you can see my tank top and stuff, which is, again, not a huge deal, but just something I would like to improve for next time. And then the other thing is that in retrospect, I should not have done continuous rounds. The pattern calls for continuous rounds, but she was just using 1 ball of like self-striping yarn, whereas I used different colors of yarn. So I definitely should have done joined rows right there. It would have made that look a little bit neater, but you live and learn. Now, in terms of this yarn and like, does this change my mind? Would I buy it again now? No, I don't think so, but I will say doubling it up, if you have some of this yarn in your stash or any type of thinner yarn that you don't really like, try doubling it up. That really made all the difference for me. And it really made it where I could use up the rest of it. I do have 1 more project I want to do in today's video. So can you guess what yarn it's going to be? Which I feel like it's probably going to be in the thumbnail. So you probably already guessed, but I am going to move back over to my couch and show you. So actually we are going to be doing double duty for this last project of the video, because I really want to get rid of this yarn right here, which is the Loops and Threads Facets yarn. If you watch this video, you will know that this was just not easy to work with. It snagged a lot, and a lot of people are saying in the comments to pair it with another yarn to make it easier to work with. So we are going to be using this yarn right here, which, oh my gosh, please don't judge how much dog hair is on this yarn. It's because Lily likes to lay down here by my shelf, and this one's like right there on the bottom. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Don't worry. This project is just going to be for me and my kids, so I'm not gonna sell Lily's dog fur all wrapped up in a plushie. Anyway, this is Karen 1 pound, whatever this one's called. I have had this yarn on my shelf for so long, and I actually have it in this color, in white, in blue, and in pink. At this point, this yarn has been on my shelf for so long. I have no idea why I even bought this, like what project I had in mind for this. It was way before I had this channel. I have absolutely no idea why I bought all of this yarn. I think there was like a good sale or something. I just don't really like this yarn very much. In terms of, for amigurumi anyway, I just don't like the texture of it that much for amigurumi. However, it's pretty easy to work with from what I remember. So this one is hard to work with, but has a nice texture to it. This one is easy to work with, but has like not a great texture. So I thought, you know, let's pair them together and see if it works. And I really want to make another snake. So I did make a snake with this one originally, but I want to pair these two together and make a snake. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use the same pattern from before, the Stitch by Faye pattern, but I want to make it bigger. I want to have like a nice chunky boy, which was a weird thing to say, but I do want to make it like super, super long and just like use as much of this yarn as possible. So that is what I'm going to be doing, and wish me luck. Hey, so what did you guys do with your workday today? Because I spent the entire day making a snake that's the same height as me. Once I started, I just could not stop. And I really wanted to use the entire skein. And then the longer I went, the more I realized that this is gonna be the same height as me, which I am under 5 feet, if you didn't already know. So making a snake the same height as me is maybe not as much of an accomplishment as it might sound, but it's something. And I am absolutely obsessed. Oh my gosh, there's so much dog hair and fuzz and like my hair on here. Please ignore that. But I am obsessed with how this looks. And it was worlds easier to work with when you pair it with a different yarn. Am I rushing to go out and buy some more facets yarn? No. But now that I know how cool this looks, I wouldn't hesitate. Now, I will say the texture is not as nice whenever you pair it with a different yarn. Of course, this yarn in particular, I just don't really like the texture of this, again, Karen 1 pound yarn. So if you were to pair it with a nicer yarn, then you would obviously get a nicer texture, but I will say it was definitely worth it to have it be a lot easier to work with. It did snag a few times here and there for me, but nothing like it was working with it on its own. So that is gonna do it for today's video. Which was your favorite project in this video, and why was it Mr. Snake here? I need some name suggestions for our snake friend here because he can't just be nameless. So let me know all of your name suggestions. And as always, if you've made it to this part of the video, I want to know, what were you working on as you watched today's video? If you did like today's video, be sure to hit the like button. You can subscribe, stick around, let me know what other kind of videos you want to see next, and let me know what kind of scrap busting projects in particular you want to see me make next. You can join my Patreon where I make a bonus video as well as an exclusive pattern once a month. And thank you again for watching. I'll see you next time.